FA Cup final. And Hatchin! What a magnificent goal!
Good evening and welcome. Can you hear me? Before I start, can everybody hear me okay? Can someone comment for me, please? Yes, lovely. Thank you very much. Thumbs up. Thank you, everyone. So let's get into it. Just remember where you can find us. It is scrolling down at the ticker at the bottom. You can find us on Twitter or X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Please go and like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube, if you don't already. We are partnered with the Anecdote Sports Bar at the CBS Arena, and also partnered where I am again tonight at the Sky Blue Tavern. We're sponsored by Wright Steel Fabrication Works. He can do steel fabrication up and down the country, but mainly in the Coventry and Warwickshire area. So we are on podcasts as well. So if you listen to us on podcasts, please go and rate us 5 stars or leave a comment or anything like that. Apologies if I dip in and out. I'm hoping that I don't, hoping everything will be okay. Just remember where you can find us on all them socials as well. Like I said, if you are watching us on YouTube, please go and like and subscribe. Go and follow our Facebook page and our Instagram page, and go and follow us on X as well. So Glenn, Luke and Gemma, thank you very much for joining on Facebook and YouTube. Much appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to post them. If you want me to do any shout outs, feel free and post them, and I will do shout outs as well. So let's get into it then. The 1-1 draw from last night. How is everybody feeling about it? What do we do now? I'll put that one up, Glenn. So Glenn says, where do we go now? Who knows? We don't know, do we? It's a difficult one. It's a difficult time. Hiya, Brandon. Thank you very much on Facebook. It's a difficult time for us at the moment. We're struggling. Confidence, performance. I think you name it, we're struggling, aren't we? I think everywhere you look, and everything's being blamed. Coaching staff's being blamed because we've got too many coaches. Robbins is being blamed. Doug's being blamed. Everything's difficult at the moment. Gemma says it exactly right, probably, to be fair. Let's put Gemma's up. Gemma said, bit disappointing, innit? And it is, it's exactly right. It is disappointing. And I'm not, again, we're missing leaders. In terms of vocal leaders, now I've just been on YouTube and we're missing vocal leaders. I want somebody that's going to shout at them, give them bollockins and stuff. And I don't think there's anybody like that at the moment. I think Sheaf's a leader, but he's very much a performance leader. And what I mean by that is his performances reflect how good he is. And that kind of leadership. But we need somebody when we're not doing well to just shout and just say, look, get it together. And we haven't got anybody like that at the minute or now. I thought Thomas could be the person to do that, but I'm not sure whether he is. I don't know. Thank you, Gemma, anyway, for that one. Ben on YouTube, thank you very much, Ben. Any positives from the last 2 games? A point away from home. That's probably all I've got really in terms of positives. At the moment, I want us to be consistent, but we're consistently poor. And that needs to start to change as well. Sky Blue Sam, thoughts on Wright? Even though he scored yesterday, I still didn't think he had a very good game. I still thought he was lazy. If he is playing that number 9 role, he's got to close down the defenders quicker. He just ambles across. It winds me up because he could be so good. Going forward, he is really good. But everyone is just struggling. And it's such a shame because we had so many high hopes, and we have got a good side. We have got a good team, and there's no way we should be where we are. But at the moment, the table doesn't lie. So we've got to start turning things around. Luke on Facebook. Thank you, Luke. The worrying thing is we show no signs of improving, whereas the past 2 seasons we did show something. It feels different. I think you're exactly right. It does feel different this year. For some reason, I've said it for a while now, that collectively something's not right. That's going right from Doug all the way down to the players, the coaching staff, Robbins, whatever. Something doesn't feel right, and it is worrying. I think personally, if we lose on Saturday, I think Robbins may go. I don't know anything that you guys don't. I'm just hearing the same rumours that you guys are. Apparently, Robbins is safe and everything's okay. But I don't know how much truth's in that. For me, Doug King, again, has been too quiet. I think he needs to come out and say something. It's hard. It's hard to be positive. It's hard to get up for any games, and I don't want it to be like that. I want to be enthusiastic about going to games, and it's just difficult. Sky Blue Sam on YouTube. Can Robbins turn the tide? I think he can because he's done it before. I think he can. But I'll ask you guys a question. Do you think what was I going to say? It will come back to me. I was going to ask you guys a question. It will come back to me. Under average Cov fan, with a new manager, improve things? Possibly, just because it's a different voice. But again, it depends on who you get in. It's difficult, isn't it? Just don't enjoy the games at the moment. So we are so poor to watch. Yeah, I get that feeling. I get what you mean, Ben. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's difficult. We want to make sure that we are getting better, but it is difficult. Luke on Facebook, you can't go from playoff finalists and an FA Cup semi-finalists to not being a very good team. So it's clear that AD was the difference, or the changes in staff have affected us. Look, hindsight's a great thing. We lost games, when we had Vic and Hamer in AD, and we lost games last year. I think it's easy to blame that we haven't got AD. I just don't know whether there's a good cop or a good cop, bad cop in the dressing room with Robbins being on his own. Because I said it a minute ago on TikTok, on my live on there. Maybe there was a good cop, bad cop in there somewhere. We can't go from being that bad. I think you're right. I think there is a team in there somewhere, but has the fact that we have made so many changes behind the scenes, has that affected us? Maybe we should have done it, it should have happened slowly rather than, 100 miles an hour like it feels like it's gone, really. But look, we had that brilliant Everton game at pre-season when we had all these coaches, and we played brilliantly. So why can't we play like that again? It can't be just all down to the coaches or all down to AD leaving. It can't be. I don't agree with that. I don't agree that it can just be down to the coaches. I think it's affected us slightly, but it can't all be down to that, surely. The players have to take some responsibility. Robins in or out from Mark on Facebook. I'm gonna say in. I'm still in. I'm still gonna back him. Mark on YouTube, thank you very much, Mark. Sheaf needs backup. We've lost the likes of Palmer and O'Hare, who have flair and move forwards more. I'm sorry to say, but Eccles and Top are not good enough. It would look. I think Eccles is an okay championship player. Torp, I was expecting more from Torp, I will have to say. I said at the start of the season that Sheaf and Torp would be the best midfield partnership that there is. And he hasn't lived up at the moment to expectations. Not sure why. Again, it's just difficult. Luke on Facebook. Then he may have lost the dressing room. Right, okay, so that was my question. Thank you. I knew it would come back up. So my question is, do you think Robins has lost the dressing room? Sims should have passed. Yes, he should have. I think he should have tried. I don't know whether, with the form that he's in, I don't know whether he could have pulled it off anyway. So was he right in going on in himself? I don't know whether he pulls that off. Worrying times for our beloved Sky Blues. Yeah. Players are not playing as a team, all on different wavelengths. Why is Robins not getting this through to the players? Again, I don't know. I wish I knew, Alan. Thank you very much on YouTube. Again, maybe it's because of all the coaches that are coming into it. Maybe that has got a factor. I still don't think that the performances are all down to the coaches, because I'm still a firm believer that once you cross that white line, it's down to the players and them playing it. Thoughts on Brandon Thomas Asante? We just haven't got a striker with a good first touch. They've all got heavy touches. Their first touch is awful. For Premier League, for Championship quality, if you like, they've all got poor first touches. It's shocking. I think Bissett is probably the only one that may have a decent first touch. But Asante's got a hard first touch. Sims has got an awful first touch, and so is Wright. Just shocking. Gemma on YouTube, thank you very much, Gemma. Do we know if Doug King has said anything publicly? No, he hasn't. Otherwise, I would have been right on that, I think. I don't think he has anyway. I've not seen anything, and I wonder if he's publicly blacked Robins that might give the players a kick up the butt. No, he hasn't. I don't think he has. Like I said before, I think Doug King's gone missing for the past couple of months, if I'm honest. He hasn't, since the poor forms. He's always in your face. You always see him when we're doing well, and we're not seeing that. And I don't think that's fair on Robins. Also, are we getting the best out of Redoni? No, I don't think we are getting the best out of Redoni. I think he was a little bit lost yesterday. Milan looks so disinterested and lazy. I don't think he looks lazy. I just think he's being pulled out of position, which makes him seem like he's not in the right place. But if you look, I think there was a point in yesterday's game where they had two strikers up front, right? They had two players in front of our back five, and it still goes out wide. They're still getting to their teammate. It was ridiculous. They were just all over the place. It looked like two poor teams yesterday playing each other, and that's what it was, for me anyway. Luke, it would make sense if he has lost the dressing room. The performances look like it could be the reason. Maybe he has. Maybe you're right, Luke. Maybe he has lost the dressing room, and maybe it is time for him to go. I would like to think that the players would have a bit more about them, but we know how players can be. We've seen it at, Man United with Solskjaer and other, teams that Man United have had in the past. I don't know. Maybe Robbins needs to be a bit stronger and start, leaving players out that don't want to play for the team. Even if that means that he doesn't start Milan. Look, I said it a minute ago again on TikTok that if Milan's not playing well, play Eccles at right wing back, because he's had a few good games at right wing back, and I think he can make a position there. So I would say that Eccles can play there. Glenn, who's the biggest miss from last season's squad? Palmer, probably. Palmer used to close players down. I used to like what he did. I was gutted about Palmer, to be fair, more than I was about O'Hare, to be fair. I think the players are not happy with the new processes in place. Well, right, so the players aren't happy with the processes in place, but they weren't happy with how Adi was doing it either, apparently. So are they just not happy at all? If that's the case, again, you just don't play on. Time for Collins? Maybe. I'd still think Dovin will play on Saturday. Daniel on Facebook, thank you very much. Sorry. Donal. I can't pronounce your name. Sorry, buddy. O'Donoghue. The appointment of the Sports Performance Director, Dr. Claire Marie Roberts, to oversee elite performances at the club in all areas. Is this working? I would say no. Was there too much upheaval, far too much in pre-season? Possibly. That, along with poor recruitment, has not helped. Yes, confidence is on the floor, but not sure we have the calibre of player in the dressing room to galvanise the situation. Totally agree with that. None of our keepers are great. I think there's a keeper in Dovin, and look, for all of his flaws that he's got, I actually think we've got three decent keepers. Wilson kept us in that Bristol City Cup game, and Collins last season, showed glimpses that he was a half decent keeper. Again, I don't know. I know I keep saying I don't know, but I really don't. I don't know how to change it. I don't know. I think, like I said, I think it's a collective thing why everything is going tits up, really. Hope Clark and Doherty get booked tonight for Luton, so are banned for Cov. Thank you, Sky Blue Sam. Luke said, Latty is the most passive player. I don't really rate him at all. Look, I do like Latty. I'm not saying that he should be playing right back or centre back, but the past two games he's made some decent interceptions and he's played okay. I would prefer to see him in central midfield. Excuse me. If I'm honest, him and just to help the back three or help the back four out a little bit. Who's your front two on Saturday? You know what? I would probably actually go on Saturday for Haji Wright and Bissett. But they have to stay as a two. I don't want Haji Wright going onto that left-hand side. Don't even get me started. Because he did it yesterday. I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but did you notice Latti and Bobby Thomas kept on switching around, and so did Haji Wright and Asante on that left-hand side. Didn't like it at all. Just stick with two up top. Why not go back four and Latti plus Sheaf in front of the back four and then pick four attackers? Yeah, I'll go with that. Mark on YouTube. What annoyed me against QPR, we went 1-0 up. Then we so... Is there something else coming to that, Mark? Luke, there are so many players that aren't good enough, to be honest, mate. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Again, it's hard when we're doing so poorly, right? When we had our playoff team, we still had Eccles. Casey was around for most of the start of it. Yeah, we had O'Hare. We haven't got him now. Jamie Allen. I'm just trying to think who else, to be fair. Didn't have Milan. But last year, we haven't changed many people. Eccles, I wouldn't say, is one of our bad players. No, I wouldn't. He's not great, but he's not one of the worst players either. Jason Gamble, thank you very much on Facebook. Do you think Robbins was fair saying his comments on the strikers not passing on the interview or kept in-house? I think at this moment in time, I don't think it really matters whether he keeps things in-house or not. If there's a fight or something like that, then yes, I get. But, saying that it's tit for tat because he didn't pass to him the game before or whatever, I think he's right to say that. Luke, lose on Saturday, Robbins is gone. Yeah, I think so too. I don't want him to, but I think that will happen. I really don't want him to go because I just don't know what we're going to get in, who's available. That's my worry. The grass isn't always greener. I get that, new manager syndrome, but you're losing a top class manager. I know it's not doing it at the minute, but you're losing a great manager that's, been with us for 7 years. I just don't want to see him going like this. I don't want to see him going like this. If he went at the start of at the end of last season, finishing 9th, FA Cup semi-final, the year before playoff final, just missing out. I don't want to see him go like this. It's such a shame. Who stays at the club longer, Doug, Robbins, or Dr. Clare? Well, I think you've got to go Doug, just because he's the owner. Mark, we need to get 2 midfielders in January window, or else, for me, it could be relegation. I don't think we'll get relegated. I think we'll get out of the relegation zone, and we will be fine come the end of the season. I just don't think it's going to be to the expectation of everybody from the start of this season. But I think everybody's expectations is tempered now anyway. So, mid-table would be acceptable. You'd take mid-table now, wouldn't you? Some of the players in the playoff final were good players, but we had lone players. Doyle, McNally, Cuffy Guffey was all right. Decent players and added to the team and the squad. Why have we abandoned the loan option? Haven't got a clue. Love to ask Doug that question. Haven't got a clue. I think that is one of the worst decisions that he's done, is not dipping into the loan market or free agency. Stupid. Utterly stupid. Sat back again. Yeah, completely sat back. Plenty of clubs will be in for Sheaf, Milan and Wright in January. I bet. I think you might be surprised. I don't think there will be many. Sheaf, yes, because we know that he was wanted by Premier League clubs. But Wright and Milan haven't showed any consistency whatsoever. Glenn says, I'm sorry, but Doug is solely the main problem. The reluctance to sign loans and or free agents is proven historically naive when you look at teams who get promoted from the league. Totally agree. Totally agree about the loans and the free agents. I think it's stupid. Absolutely ridiculous. And I think... I'm not saying that that's to blame, but, you know, the 2 seasons that we've had okay in the Championship was when we had loans. And I just don't get it. I don't get it. I wish I did. Jason on Facebook again, thank you very much. I'd love to know why Adi Vivash left and don't rate current coaching squad at all, any of them. Hello. Thanks, Jace. I'd love to know why he left as well. Eccles is a good tackler, but he doesn't have a shot or a goal like Palmer used to always have a crack. Yeah. Sunderland added Metham, Moore and Brown to their squad, and that know-how plus experience has made a difference this season. Yeah, totally agree. And they're 2 players. Well, we had more, but they're 2 players that I would have had in Metham and Brown. I wanted Brown so much. I was absolutely gutted when Brown went to Sunderland. Gutted. He would have been the difference maker, especially at the early start of the season when Sheaf was out. He would have been perfect for us. Absolutely gutted. That's one that I will never forget. Not being able to get him when I think we were so close as well. Yeah, annoying. Gemma, Brown was a big miss. He was. Like I said, I was gutted. Gutted we didn't get him. There are games going on as well, guys. Tonight, Hull are 1-0 up against Burnley. I don't know if you're watching. Millwall are beating Plymouth. And Luton are still drawing. Hull are beating Burnley. How about Curtis Davis or Duncan Ferguson as a number 2? Yeah, I'll take either of them two as a number. Ferguson, 100%. Absolutely love Dunk. I think Robbins isn't the problem. He's been a great manager for Coventry. I don't think it's Robbins that is the issue either. They'd shake things up, definitely. What's your thoughts on set pieces? Those corners last night were shocking. Right, again, it's another thing that I've said for a long, long time. Our corners, our throw-ins especially, are dog. Absolutely dog. They honk. We can't do it. And I felt so sorry for De Silva, by the way, getting a yellow card. So sorry for him. There's no runners. Yes, they were time wasting a little bit, but Dovin was culpable, and so was Milan on just taking ages to do anything. It's ridiculous. But the corners, I don't get the corners yesterday because Eccles went back on them. Why isn't Radoni taking them from both sides again? I don't get it. I didn't get it last night at all, why Eccles. To be fair, the two corners that he put in, one front post and one back post. His actual corners weren't that bad. We just need to be better we need to do something different. But I've said it for a long, long time now that our set pieces are awful. Throw-ins, corners, free kicks. When Radoni took a free kick against Blackburn, we scored. Bidwell scored. And that's why he should be on set pieces. And that includes Wilson must be rubbing off on Dovin with his time wasting. To be fair to Wilson, I don't think Wilson did time waste that much. Not really. And you know what, right? Again, this is another thing that really pisses me off, is the fact that straight away, that's the first game that we've actually time wasted. And we get done straight away. The amount of teams that come to our place, go 1-0 up and time waste, and we're crying out for yellow cards to stop it, and nothing gets done. It's ridiculous. And again, that really annoys the hell out of me. The first time we do it, we have a player on a yellow card. Just winds me up. Oh, come on. Wilson is the worst keeper in the Championship for time wasting. No way. I'm not having that, Alan. Sorry, mate. Not a chance. Not the worst in the Championship. I don't think he's that bad. Not really. Not when you watch other teams come to the CBS and time waste. I'm not having that. We just seem so passive. Definitely. We just seem so passive and scared when in possession because they don't want to lose the ball. Because as soon as they do, they know that they've got to do a little bit of defending. And that's where we're missing fads, is that we've got no defenders, really. To be fair, we nearly messed up the goal first. We did. Totally. I am going to say this, though. Do we think Robbins is just toying with the Championship? Do we think that Robbins said to the players, right, play poorly, wait until we're in the bottom three, and then start playing? So do you think that he's going reverse psychology? Do you think we'll turn up and we'll win on Saturday? Who would you bring in January? I haven't looked to see who's available, to be fair, Gemma. Matty James is still available, but he's just had 6 months of not playing. I think you've got to bring in a midfielder. Excuse me. Alan, I actually thought Asante put himself about when he started. Bissett deserves a start. Yeah, I would play Bissett. I would start Hadji Wright and Bissett as a 2. That's what I would go for personally. I think anyone who thinks that may be mental. Are you talking about Asante, Luke? Jason said, it will be a sad day if Robbins gets sacked. All he has dealt with the past few years and still stuck at it, and he's done well, and he ain't the problem. It's a lot deeper. Alan says, please no, not Matty James. He's past it. Maybe. All right, somebody of that ilk, if you like. Who would you have, though, Alan? Who would you want in that position? Nil-nil at half-time, Luton. Yeah. What's the other? Any different results? Millwall still 1-0 up. Hull 1-0 up at half-time. Celtic 0-0. Barcelona 2-0. Man City 1-0 up. Foden. Liverpool 1-0 up. Nunes. Is Nunes going to be an option in fantasy, do we think? Salah with the assist. Alan, I said to Doug King after our last home game against QPR last season to please buy Chair. Oh, I know, yeah. The only issue that you had with Chair, though, and I will agree with you, I wanted Chair. Chair is brilliant. Oh, he wasn't anything special, but he gave Eccles, Thomas, and Latty a good run around. And if you said that he wasn't that good, yeah, Seauto was good. He gave Milan a torrid time down when he come on. I like Chair though. I'd have Chair. Definitely. But we have Chair and push Redoni back. So you have Redoni and Sheaf. And then Chair as the third midfielder, even though we don't really need midfield. We need to sort out the defence. We leak too many goals. It's ridiculous. In my opinion, Chair is one of the best players in the Championship. On his day, definitely. Mark, all over the park, we seem disjointed. No partnerships down the flanks. The sad is Mark Robbins doesn't know his best 11. No, totally agree. He doesn't know his best 11. But like I've said before, no one's staking a claim to be in his starting 11. So why should he pick? I get that we need to have a settled side, but if no one's staking a claim and they're all poor, what's he meant to do? He can't stick a settled side in because no one's playing well enough. It's ridiculous. So the players aren't helping him. And the players will get him the sack. I hope they don't, but I think they will. Bissett is taking a claim. Yeah, maybe Bissett. But he had a chance against Preston and he didn't take it. Was it Preston or was it last night? Preston. Hi, gorgeous. How you doing, Faye? Love you. You know what? I'm going to put that comment up, Faye, because I like that one. Faye says, hey, handsome. Thank you very much. Hope you're well. Subs too late again last night. Yeah, maybe, but the thing is, we're saying that that he's making too many changes. All the better for seeing you. Love you too. Thank you very much, Faye. Faye needs to go to Specsavers. Not a chance. She knows a good one. What's your thoughts on Dovin? I really don't know what to think. Is it just the speed of the league that he's not used to? Yeah, maybe, Tom. If we get 2 dynamic midfielders in January window, it will help Ben Sheaf out more, and maybe we could get better supply to our forward men. Yeah, maybe. Jason should go on Specsavers, Faye. Only kidding. How many times did he sub off Hamer, Vic, Sheaf, etc. in the playoff? Right. So, not very often. But how many games did they have poor games in? That's why they stayed on the pitch, because they didn't have poor games. If the players aren't playing well, how do you expect to keep themselves on the pitch? They don't, and they shouldn't be on the pitch if they're not playing well. Faye says, I'm not into Dovin, sorry, but I don't have faith in him. You're not the only one, Faye. Alan, I'd have Torp starting ahead of Eccles. But again, I would. Both playing at their best, I would be totally with you, because I think Torp is really, really good. I do think he's really, really good. But if you're not playing well enough, and if Eccles is playing better than you, then Eccles starts ahead of you, and that's what's happening. Luton should have been 1-0 up. Oh, God. Well, that bodes well for Saturday. Terrible offside decision by the linesman. It's just what you get in the Championship. You get all shit in the Championship, don't you? Mark says true. Sorry, Mark, what are you saying true to, mate? So it is worrying for me that the opinion is that Bissett could be our best option in attack. The boy was signed out the blue and we knew little or nothing about him. Now, all of a sudden, we pin our hopes on him to get us the goals. I know, but look, he's done that by playing well and hassling and chasing and running, which Sims and Wright don't do. And it's not worrying. If this was Rooney back in the day, was Everton worried? Was Man United worried when they put him in? No, because he was doing a job. He could play well and he was scoring goals. As soon as Bissett scores a goal, I think his confidence will grow, and I think he'll score goals. I think he's got that arrogance about him, which I like. But I agree, he is young and he will make mistakes. But if he's good enough, just play him. And he showed, I think, that he's good enough. And I would start, like I said, Hadji Wright and Bissett. Torp only getting 10 minutes if Robbins needs to bring him on earlier or even play him from the start. I would play him from the start, personally. I would play. Milan's not playing very well. So I would rest Milan. I would give Eccles a chance at right wing back and play Rudoni, Sheaf and Torp in the centre, or even Latti in the centre. What role do we want from Sheaf? Is he the deep-lying midfielder, like a Kante, or a version of Rice, or an all-rounder? I think he's an all-rounder, if I'm honest. I do think he's an all-rounder. And that's why I would probably play Latti in midfield and have Latti as the holder. Latti can do the dirty stuff. I hope you're right. I really just think it's a lot to ask of the young fella. Yeah, I do as well. But like I said, if he's good enough, he should be playing. Why can't we give Tavares a game? He's got pace, is always getting in space for the pass and goals. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know why Tavares hasn't been given a go on that right wing. I agree with you about saying he looks hungry in the Sims, definitely. Has a good cross on him. Tavares, yeah. Again, he's just a little bit lightweight for me. Tavares will always be on the move, looking for the ball, not stationary. Yeah. Same goes for Bissett. Yeah. Again, I just don't think that. I don't know about Tavares. He does make a little bit of odd decisions, Robbins, but sorry, what you said earlier, Stuart. Let me just go back slightly. True. Sorry, Mark. What? I'm going back slightly. I know I am. About who, Mark? Sorry. What did I say earlier? What do you agree with me on? In case I've missed it. It's getting a little bit warm in here now. Bloody hell. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? 10 to 9. Again, while I'm waiting for some more questions and stuff to come through, just remember where you can find us, guys. We are on Twitter or X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're on YouTube. Please go and like and subscribe. We're getting so close to 600 subscribers. It would be amazing if we could get to that. We're partnered this year with the Anecdote Sports Bar at the CBS Arena and also at the Sky Blue Tavern, where I'm live from today. And we're also sponsored by Right Steel Fabrications, who can do steel fabrication work up and down the country, but mainly in the Coventry and Warwickshire area. You can also find us on podcasts. If you do listen to us on podcasts on Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcast from, please go and rate us 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube and you don't subscribe, it is free to subscribe. So please go and subscribe to us and go and like as well. Thank you very much. Anything else that anybody wants to say? We are coming up to about 50 minutes or just over 50 minutes now. If there's not much more coming through, then I can call it a night. Stephen McGovern, thank you, Stephen, on YouTube. Would you play Binks at left back and play De Silva as a winger? Yeah, possibly. I wouldn't be against that. But I just think if you're playing with a 4 and you're going to play Binks at left back, you may as well play Mason Clark. That's what you bought him to play. No chance of getting a pint for yourself in the tavern. I only drink Coke when I'm on lives. I have to keep a good opinion of me, kind of. Glenn said, yep, Glenn has just said about Josh Shale from All Things Sky Blue. He says, check out Josh on the OK Football channel tomorrow from 7, previewing the Luton game. De Silva has been very good. He hasn't been very good. He's been okay. De Silva is not as strong as Bidwell. I think De Silva is deceptively strong for being a little guy, but he's got better feet than Bidwell. He has got better feet than Bidwell, and that gets him out of trouble a little bit, which I like. Keep hearing people behind me. Alan says, what's your prediction for Saturday? I am going to go for a win, for a Coventry win. It's fine, Mark. Don't worry about it, mate. I was just wondering, that was all. It's fine. It's all good. As long as you agree with me, then it's fine. If you disagree, then it's not fine, but it's fine. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Coventry on Saturday. I don't know why. I don't know what gives me that. Not confidence, really. I'm just hoping that we win 2-1. I'd like a 2-0 or a 1-0. I want a clean sheet, but I'd take anything at the minute, if I'm honest. It's behind you, Chip. What is? Where? Glenn says, can you say get well soon to Cov fan Robin Allen? Get well soon, Robin Allen. I hope you're okay, buddy. The ghost of the Sky Blue Tavern. Yeah. Dressing up for Halloween. I hope so too. If we don't, it could be curtains for Robbins. Yeah, I think so. If we don't win, I think Robbins is gone. I hope I'm wrong, but I think so. Did you watch the game yesterday, Faye? Night, Stuart. Good show, mate. Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you very much for coming on, buddy. Much appreciated. Please go and like and subscribe if you don't already. Glenn, how many points wins does Robin need before international break to keep him in his job? How many games we got left? We've got 5, haven't we? I think. Have we got 5 or 4? I think he needs 3 wins out of 5. You did. Did you enjoy it? Or was it a hard watch? Actually enjoyed it. Oh, bless you, Faye. I love you. I didn't enjoy it. Excuse me. Let's have a look at some of the scores. Let's have a look. I'm sure somebody keeps coming in and out. Hull still 1-0. Millwall still 1-0. We can do it. I hope you're right. Are you surprised we haven't heard anything from Doug King, Martin? Yes. And I've said it for months. I've said it for at least 2 months that we haven't heard anything from Doug King. And I don't like it. I think he's leaving Robins hanging out to dry, personally. Wow, 3 wins out of 5. That's going to be difficult given the way we are playing, but really hope we can turn things around. Well, I did until they equalised. Yeah, I know. I get ya. Yeah, I know 3 wins out of 5, but I think that's what it's going to take to keep him in his job. I just want to start seeing a performance from the players. Even if we lose a couple, you know, the way we lost against Tottenham was the way to lose games. And at the minute, we're not losing the way that we should be losing. We should be battering players. We are watching the Man City match at the moment. Gio is very excited. Why is he excited for, Faye? Don't tell him to support Man City. Tell him not to be a Glory supporter. Why don't we get some out-of-contract players in? It won't matter anyway if your job's on the line. Doug calling the shots. Yeah, I think he is. I think, you know, it's his club at the end of the day. I think Robins has got to do what he's told, unfortunately. But look, I think if Robins was asked the question, I don't think he'd throw Doug under the bus anyway. I think he'd turn around and say, as a collective, we've looked and we don't need any more players in, or something like that. Something like that. I don't know. I don't think he'd throw Doug under the bus. He supports Man City. No, Faye. Tell him no. Graham Cottrell, thank you very much on Facebook. To me, there was a slight improvement at QPR. The midfield positions are not consistent with their passing. No, they're not. Everything's not consistent. Consistency is the biggest issue for me. We're not, and even if we'd beaten QPR, at the minute we're not. I need to see more consistency. We need to be consistent in, you know, not just one game, 2, 3, 4, 10 games. Doesn't matter. We just need to start seeing consistency out of the players. All of them. Absolutely all of them. Bloody hell. Tired. Right, I'm just over the hour mark. While I'm closing down, if there's any other things that pop up, I will try and mention them. Sorry, but yes. Shocking. Next time I come round, I'll have a word with him. A cost saver in the loan market policy has got very costly. Yeah, definitely, totally agree. I don't know why he's done it. I would ask him that question if I ever got to speak to him. So, who is the most missed player to you? Well, out of the past 2 years or from last season? If it's last season, I will say Palmer. Good show, Stuart. See you on Saturday. Yeah, see you Saturday I'll try and get to the anecdote, mate, if I can. So remember where you can find us. We're on Twitter or X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're on YouTube. Please go and like and subscribe. We're sponsored by Right Still Fabrications, and we're partnered with the Anecdote Sports Bar and the Sky Blue Tavern at the CBS Arena. I think we miss all the players that left during the season last season. I think we miss Palmer. He knows kickboxing, you know. I know he does. Cheers, Stuart. All the best. Fingers crossed we get the 3 points on Saturday. Hope we do. Kyle Mack fancy I miss the most. Kelly Mack. I think I've missed something there. Sorry, Graham. Right, guys. Thank you very much. Much appreciated to everyone that comes on. Faye, Alan, Graham, Stephen, Mark, Alan. Who else? Mark, Alan, Donald, O'Donoghue. Thank you very much. Jason, Alan. I think I've mentioned Alan. Jason, Luke at the start, Gemma. Thank you very much. Glenn, as always, and Mark as well, who came on. Thank you very much. Hopefully, we can get the 3 points, and I'll speak to you all guys soon. Good night. I miss Palmer too, Faye. Good night, guys. Speak to you soon. Play up Sky Blues.